Hi, friends. Happy 2023, you guys. This is the first time we've hung out together this year. Well, unless you follow my social media stories, because I kind of live in there. But this is the first episode of the new year. And, I really did all the things I could to make sure that I was bringing the energy that I want you to feel when this episode ends today. And I got to be totally honest with you, that required a little more work of me this time, and I'll tell you why. And you might think it sounds ridiculous, but I'm just keeping it real with you all. So, my husband just decided at the beginning of this week that we were going to go skiing this coming Monday. Actually, the day this episode will air is the day that we are going skiing. Okay. So, let me start by saying I've never skied before. He, however, grew up in Western PA and used to go skiing like every Friday there for a while, which doesn't make me feel any better. So I did go with an ex-boyfriend once, but never even moved an inch in skis. I literally mean that. That's how that experience went. So he had surprised me with a lesson less, I should say, lessonless either from a professional or from himself, a lessonless trip, and just assumed, I guess, that I would just know what to do. So when I didn't know what to do, he said, well, you just wait here then. So I ended up in the lodge waiting for him to get done with his surprise ski trip. End of story, short story. So that's my only skiing experience. And I don't remember being scared for that experience at all. Not like I am anyway for this upcoming Monday. And it truly feels so out of my character to be scared of something like this. So, is it because of my past experience? I would say that that's probably having some effect. And I'm bringing the way that experience went into this experience, assuming my husband is going to treat me the same way, which is also unfair to my husband, right? I'm actually not going to go into a lot of detail about this today, though. Okay. So I have a strong feeling that I'm going to leave this experience with so much that I'm going to want to do a whole episode about it. So we'll see how it goes and continue this conversation later. But I just want to say this fear that I have for going skiing has consumed me this week. And it's been really hard to get in the energetic and creative space that I require of myself to come in here and produce these chats with you guys. And it's Friday now, and I've been trying to sit down and do this episode since Wednesday. Not proud of myself. I've literally had it on I make like top 3 priorities every day. This has been in my top 3 priorities. This is my 3rd day with it there now, and I'm just now doing it. After expressing some of my skiing fears online, I had some friends reach out, and I'm waking up feeling a little more confident today and at ease. And I realized that it all really ties in to what I was going to make this topic about today anyway. So today we're just going to talk about energy, our energy, the energy we attract, and the energy of the rooms we are putting ourselves in. So my word for the year is intention. That theme is going to carry throughout our conversations this year. And today, I want us to become more aware of the energy that we ourselves are putting out into the world and the energy that we are surrounding ourselves with. Negativity is contagious. Positivity is contagious. You can be the most grounded person in the world, right? But spend too much time around someone who is constantly negative, and it's going to have some kind of effect on you. It's draining, if nothing else. But before we go evaluating the energy of those around us, of the company we are keeping, I think that we need to take ownership of our own energy first. What energy are you putting out into the world? Are you calling someone else negative in your life, but you're walking by people with your head down all day? We have to own where we are energetically right now. And look, we all have bad days. We are human. It is normal to be sad for no reason or a reason. But on average, how are you showing up daily? What are you doing when you wake up in the morning to make sure that you are emitting the energy you want to attract? So if you're just barely rolling out of bed after your fourth alarm and rushing to not be late to work every day, my guess is your morning energy kind of sucks to be around, right? That was me for a while. People see me as this morning person now, showing up in my stories. And there was a time when I was yelling at my kids every morning to get out of the door. I'm not proud of it. Yelling at them to get out of the door so I could do our hour morning commute to their school and to my place of work, because I wasn't taking ownership of my own energy. I was staying up too late, sleeping past my alarms, failing to leave myself enough time in the morning to do things that make me feel good, like even just eating breakfast. Yep, sometimes I wasn't even making time for that. So I'm hungry, I'm cranky, I'm tired, I'm disheveled, and I'm trying to do my makeup at the stoplights. I started many, many mornings like that, more than I care to admit to. And you know how I walked into that office every day? Like I had just been through a natural disaster. I'd walk in and I was all in on the conversation to complain about my kids, the traffic, how busy I was, my spouse, gas, politics, whatever. Misery loves company. Energy attracts like energy. And I was ready to blame anything and everything but myself for how I felt in that moment. And I had to take ownership of the person that I was taking out into the world every day. And that's what I want you to evaluate today with me and own right now. It's not easy to highlight where we ourselves can improve, right? But it's necessary. Not just for you, right? But for your impact on the world around you. Taking care of you so that you can be the energy you want to attract. It's not easy, but let's be honest. It's also not easy to be the negative one, always complaining, always busier than everyone else, always pointing the finger, right? So you got to choose your heart. You ever notice that the negative person is always like more tired looking too? Like they just look exhausted. That's because their energy is exhausting to them too. So this episode isn't about my personal morning routine, but I do require things of myself now that I did in the past. To get up on the first alarm, to allot time to read some personal development. I set my timer on my watch for 5 minutes. To move my body, to write 3 things I'm grateful for, to set my affirmation for the day, and write out like I said, I write out my 3 priorities for the day. Leave time for breakfast. Allow time to help the kids get out the door without yelling. All of these things help me feel the most energetically like the people that I want to attract into my life. Think about it, parents, when you're struggling to leave the house in the morning with your kids, or if you don't have kids, maybe you're rushing to get to an event with your spouse and you're late because you didn't leave yourself enough time or something came up. Everyone gets tense, right? Arguments happen that wouldn't have happened otherwise. And everyone feels your energy. Everyone feels everyone's energy. It's contagious. My husband will offer to take the kids sometimes in the mornings to school. And if I see that he's sleeping in or cutting the time close to leave the house, I kind of try to act like a little buffer. I basically will smother the kids with love and positivity until my husband is finally ready to walk out the door, because I'm so aware now of how contagious energy is. And I don't want them to feel negativity and stress going into their school day. And maybe I'm doing too much there as a parent. I don't know. But hey, it's a mother's love. What are you going to do about it? So let's talk a little bit about the energy around you now. Now that we've talked about the importance of owning our own, because I said this in one of my last couple episodes, and I want to say it again because it does apply to today too. As I approach this topic of the energy around us, I want you to remember this. Don't get lost in looking at this as eliminating people or energies from your life. Look at this topic of the energy of those around you as let's add to what you want in your life, okay? The rest will take care of itself. Sometimes negativity it can't be avoided. That's life. It may be a parent, a coworker, a spouse, a family member, etc. But honestly, I can't just say that without saying this. If it is a spouse, maybe you should reevaluate that relationship. I'm not a supporter of staying in something just because. At least I believe that my higher power wouldn't want you to waste your life on anything less than what you deserve. But anyway, I will never pretend to be a marriage expert. I don't know that I'll ever have marriage quite figured out myself. So, topic for another day. But seriously, if you're taking care of a loved one, they may not be in the best place in their life to admit this positive energy, right? So maybe you can't just remove yourself from that energy all the time. But what if you allowed yourself time to recenter, like to double down on your own self-care, double down on fueling your energy level, keep your tank full. It is not selfish to take time for you no matter what the situation is. That time away from caring for them is actually benefiting them too, right? Because you're going to go back into that situation with your light shining again. And whether they will ever tell you or not, they need your light too. Take care of you. Protect your energy. Just because someone in your life is going through hard times, unhappy, miserable, negative, it doesn't mean you have to join them in that, right? You can be there for them. And you can be there for someone in moderation. Like anything else in life, moderation is key. It doesn't make you a bad friend or a bad daughter to step away when you feel like you're absorbing their energy as your own. Take a step away. Go for a walk. Regroup. The next day, go listen to music, move your body, get lost in a book, allow yourself time to remember the energy you want to share with the world. And I will quickly say this, but I don't want you guys to get lost in this point and misinterpret. So I'll keep it short because it could be a topic for another day, but do not put yourself in rooms in the company of people around energies that do not support you, that don't lift you up. Everybody doesn't need to agree with you. That's not what I mean. But if you've got people in your life always trying to knock you down, and you know who they are, if they can be removed, remove them, period. You owe that to yourself. Stop taking the breadcrumbs in relationships. You deserve the whole loaf, honey, with the olive oil dipping sauce and all, okay? No breadcrumbs in 2023. But let's talk about adding to the energy you want in your life and less about taking away from it. Because I think once you work on owning the energy you're taking into the world and attracting that energy back, the people and the places that were only meant to be in your life for a season will see themselves out. Because you'll no longer feed their energy level anymore. You're no longer supporting where they are in their life either. Or you will no longer desire to be in those places that aren't serving the person you desire to become or are becoming. You'll start to recognize your own worth and you'll seek better environments. Your energy will attract what is meant for you. And if you can acknowledge that negativity can attract negativity, like when one person starts complaining and all of a sudden there's a group complaining, like we've all had to have seen that, right? At a party, by the coffee break room at work, right? One person starts complaining, all of a sudden there's a group. So if we can acknowledge that negativity can attract negativity, then you must also acknowledge that positivity can attract positivity. You owe it to yourself to try this. That's why I wanted this episode to be episode 1 of 2023, because I want you to stop accepting breadcrumb conversations and relationships this year. This is the year you ask more of yourself and of the people in your life. We aren't a free parking garage. A space in your world has a fee. We aren't expecting people in our life to not have their own ups and downs, but we are only giving space to those who don't try and bring us down with them. Being there for someone else doesn't mean that they get to take your entire being because they are having a bad day, and they also shouldn't want to. Work on your energy. Own what you need to do to shift yourself to the energy you want to attract back, and then take that into your day and see what energy you start getting back. It may not happen in a day or a week, but give it time where you are consistently showing up at your desired level and just watch how your life changes. I'm telling you, it works. Be the one person in the room that's smiling in your office today. Be the one person at the grocery store who says hello to everyone as they walk past. Be the one person at the dentist office who is happy to be there. Be the one parent at the kids' sports practice that's actually making eye contact with the other parents. Be the one, because it will multiply. And that's how you add the energy you want in your life. Let me know if this is something you needed to hear today, what you're taking ownership of, what you're going to change, what the energy is that you're looking to attract. Let me know. You can always comment on this YouTube video or reach out to me on social media. And just so you know, it's always me who responds. Believe it or not, some people don't think it is, which is crazy to me because I'm not Oprah. It's me. And I love connecting with you guys through these episodes and through our stories. Not to say that Oprah doesn't respond. I just mean, of course, it's me. Anyway, let's circle back to how I started this topic today because of the vibration in which I started showing up on social media. Even though I felt silly sometimes at first because I had been around energies that weren't the energy I wanted to attract back. And I was initially afraid that those people in my life at that time, I was afraid what they would think of me. But because I didn't let that stop me, I started using my social media to attract the people in my life that I desired. And the responses I received back about my fear of skiing were uplifting and supportive and funny and full of confidence in me. Even they couldn't believe that I was afraid of something like this. They reminded me of who I am, what I'm capable of, and poured belief in me that I would either love this or come out of it really proud that I tried. And they are so right. That's why it's important to take control of your own energy so that you can attract that energy back and stop giving out free spaces to relationships that feed you breadcrumbs when you deserve the whole dang loaf. It changes your life, friends. And with that energy in your life, you can go on to do things you never even thought possible, which then allows you to be an energy source for someone else to do the same. And this is why we have a responsibility to take care of ourselves, not just for us, but for the impact we all have on the world around us. So stay tuned for an upcoming episode where I'm sure that I will share the highs and the lows literally, I'm sure I will fall on my butt more than a few times, and laughter from my first skiing experience and the lessons that I'm sure I will take away from it. Go be the energy you want to attract. Until next episode, everybody.